is Chris, and this is the Healthy to the Soul channel, and today I'm going to do a yoga specifically suited for pickleball players. I dabble a little bit in pickleball, but my husband plays it quite a bit. So I'm going to be looking at strengthening your core, shoulders, back, opening up the hamstrings, the chest, and the shoulders, and trying to just generally strengthen and loosen the body here. So this is going to be a good thing to do before or after you play, or while you're on hiatus from playing. So we're going to just begin in a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting up on a blanket, and you might want to do the same, particularly if you have tight hamstrings. It might be more comfortable to sit up a little bit higher, but sit however it feels best for you. So let's go ahead and just start by closing our eyes here. And we're going to take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let your exhales be long. And one more. Deep breath in and out. And let's sit up nice and tall here. So you want to feel like you are lifting up from your sitting bones. You're reaching long through the top of your head. And the shoulders are open and the arms, palms relaxed. And we're just going to start with a little gentle ear to shoulder on one side. Now, as you do this, you may instinctively want to pull your shoulder up to reach your ear, but try to just let the shoulder relax. And while you're here, if it feels good, maybe just softly lift and lower your chin. Just a very slight movement like you're nodding. And take 2 more deep breaths. And let's lift our head up to center. And then we're going to take that to the other side. Taking those deep breaths, that's going to help relax you into the stretch. And maybe adding that lift and lower of the chin. And we'll slowly bring that back to center. Let's take a big inhale and reach all the way up, lifting as high as you can. And just pause here with a nice tall reach. Taking a deep breath in, and as you exhale, stretch over one side. Give yourself 3 or 4 deep breaths right here. And let's go ahead and come back up, and then to the other side. And on your next inhale, reach back up, bring the hands together and down to the heart. And we're going to interlace the fingers here. Press out through your palms, tuck your chin, and really pull those shoulders apart and forward, hollowing the chest. And we're going to reach back up again with a big inhale. Pausing here, continue to breathe. And now sweep your arms all the way back behind. Interlace the fingers behind your back and reach down. So you feel your shoulders drawing back as if someone is dribbling ice water down your back. You're going to open up your chest. And then let's start to tuck the chin as we do this. Maybe the hands come a little bit further away. Give yourself 2 more breaths here. Relax the shoulders. Let's walk the hands down in front. We're going to fold forward here. So we're not necessarily trying to reach as far as we can. What we want is to relax the neck and the shoulders. Anytime your body feels like adding a little bit of movement in any position we're in, you listen to that and listen to your body and do what feels best. We're going to walk it back in. Open up the shoulders and then circle. Getting a few big circles with breath. And then we're going to change direction. So just take those shoulders and circle them in the other direction. All right, so from right here, I'm going to remove my blanket that I'm sitting on. And we're going to come lengthwise on our mat or on the floor if you're on the floor. Hopefully you have some kind of cushion underneath of you, so if you don't have a mat, hopefully you're on carpet or some soft surface. We're going to start right here, folding over the bent knees. Again, letting the shoulders relax, the head and the neck, rocking if it feels good. And give yourself 3 more deep breaths here. Start to lift the chest. Bring the hands behind the thighs here, opening the shoulders as we inhale, and then exhale, lean back and pull the belly button in, tucking the chin. And we're going to inhale, lift, opening the shoulders, opening the chest. Exhale, lean back, draw your belly button towards your spine. And 4 more breaths of this right here. Opening on the inhale, lean back, pull the belly button in as you exhale. Keep going for 3. 2 more. And 1 more here. And we're going to come up again to that fold forward. And gently rock or sway. And let's roll the spine back up. We're going to bring the hands back behind. So the fingers are spread wide. And we've walked our hands back behind the hips. We're going to open the chest, pressing it up, drawing those shoulders back as you push through the chest. And if it feels good, tilt the chin back. And breathe, nice deep breath. See if you can fill your chest and your rib cage with your breath for 3 full breaths here. If it feels better to keep the chin tucked, do that. We're going to inch our feet a little further forward and walk the hands forward, taking another forward fold. And take nice deep breaths. This time see if you can feel your breath coming into your upper back and your rib cage. And if it feels good, sway a little bit here. And we're going to slowly lift up again. And we're going to come onto the tips of our toes, lifting the chest. Draw the belly button toward the spine. We're going to pick up the feet here for a boat pose. This is really good for core strength. If you feel comfortable enough, maybe bring your hands together. If this is a little bit too much, you may need to keep the hands behind the thighs, maybe keep the toes closer to the floor. Let's just take a few more breaths here. And now we'll bring the feet together and the knees apart and take a butterfly stretch. So we're just going to gently lean into this stretch. And let's gently bring it back up, grounding into the feet again, hip width apart. Draw the belly button toward the spine again. That's going to help to engage your deepest abdominal muscles. And we're going to bring the hands together at the top. So take a big inhale here, and on the exhale, we're going to lean back and dig down on one side like you're rowing, and then to the other side. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. So incorporating a little bit of Pilates right here. Pilates is all about working the core. We're going to do this 8 more times right here with your breath. Exhale, dig down, lift up. And the other side. And 6. Keep your belly button hugged to the spine the whole time. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. And now let's let the legs come all the way down. Take a big reach up with an inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Just let your body relax here. And just a couple more breaths. And let's slowly come back up. And now we're going to come into a child's pose. So we're going to come through hands and knees. Ease back the hips toward the heels, sinking down. And now if your head doesn't quite reach the floor when we're in child's pose, you might have a pillow nearby to rest under your head so your neck can relax. If this feels too difficult for the knees, you might have a little more of a forward position here. You might want to place a blanket under your knees. And we're just going to be here for a couple more breaths as we release the spine. And let's go ahead and bring ourselves up to a tabletop position, aligning the knees and the hips, aligning the shoulders and the wrists, spreading the fingers wide. Now if this bothers your wrists, you might want to use your fists with your wrists facing each other. And we're going to come into some cat stretches here as well. So we're going to inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, drop the belly. That's the arched cat. And on the exhale, the rounded cat, we're going to draw the belly button in, tuck the tailbone and the chin. And give yourself 4 more full breaths here. find your center, find your neutral. Maybe sway the hips a little bit to relax everything. And then we're going to extend the left leg back behind. So if you can, maybe keep that leg lifted. If that's a little too much, you're going to bring the toes back down. We're going to reach the right arm long in front. So we want to draw the belly button toward the spine here. So we're activating the core muscles. Working on our balance. No need to lift the head and look forward. We want to keep it down. Keep the head and neck in line with the spine. Let's bring the hand down, but we're going to take the leg and we're going to cross it over our right foot. And then we're going to turn and look toward that left foot. And that may look just barely crossed over. That's okay. All we want to do is bring a stretch into the left side of the body. We're going to feel that from about the shoulder area all the way down through the hip. And let's slowly bring that back in. Once again, we're going to rock the hips just to loosen things back up. And now we're going to take the right leg back behind and the left arm long in front. Draw the belly button toward the spine. If this is too much, bring the toes back down. Breathe. Let's bring the hand back down, cross the leg over, and then turn to look. So now we're looking over our left shoulder and bringing the stretch down the right side of the body. And I know it's hard, you want to hold your breath sometimes when you're in a stretch, but it's really important to take long breaths so your body can relax where it's at. Let's bring that leg back. We're going to ease back into that child's pose again. And add any movement that feels good here. And it might feel good to spread the fingers and turn the wrists a little bit. We're going to come back up toward a hands and knees position, but then we're going to replace our hands with our elbows and give the hands and wrists a rest. So we do want our elbows directly beneath the shoulders, and we're going to start pulling that belly button in toward the spine right now and start to tuck your toes under. So we want to grip our toes down onto whatever we're at. We're going to take a big breath in here, and on the exhale, we're going to lift the knees and look between the feet, lifting the tailbone, and then sink back down with an inhale, and then exhale, lift again. Really good work here for strengthening the shoulders and the upper back, which are used very often as you're swinging your paddles. Just a few more times. Lift and look and down. 2 more times. Making sure to breathe here. Inhale as you sink them down. Exhale as you bring it up. 1 last time here. Lower it down and lift it back up. And if you can, hold it here for 3 long breaths. Whenever you're ready for child's pose, feel free to just rest back down. And we're going to sink back down, resting again, maybe this time with those arms relaxing down by your sides, sinking the shoulders. Maybe turning the head to one side or the other. Coming back to center, we're going to extend the arms long in front again. So we're back into the child's pose, but we're going to turn this child's pose into a puppy dog pose. And how we do that is sliding our hands forward till we feel our hips above the knees, and then we'll sink the chest. So that's going to give us a nice stretch through the chest, through the shoulders, and the back. And the forehead can be to the floor or to the side. Give yourself a couple more long breaths here. And now press into your elbows. Lift your upper body just enough so that you can lower your pelvis and your hips down. And now we're going to align the elbows directly beneath the shoulders. And this is serpent pose. We want our legs to be long and the tops of our feet pressing into the floor. Taking nice deep breaths here. If it feels good, let your chin just tuck, not forcefully, but let your head and neck relax here for a moment. And we're going to lower all the way down, extending the arms way out in front of us for a long stretch. And while we're here, let's take a quad stretch. So we're going to grab for a foot, draw it in. Drawing the heel in toward the glutes. And if you need to turn onto your side to do that, you can do that. So reaching for the foot, and that might mean you need to open up onto your side. So give yourself a few deep breaths there. Make sure to switch sides if you haven't already. And just another long breath or two. And let's release the leg all the way down. We're going to bring the arms now all the way back by our sides. If you can, touch your palms to your thighs. Draw the shoulders back, lifting the chest and the legs. This is the locust pose. Really good for strengthening the back. Imagine you are squeezing a grapefruit between your shoulder blades. So we're really pulling those shoulders back. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, sink down, turn your head and relax. Allowing for some nice deep breaths right here. We're going to bring our head back to center, bring the palms beside the rib cage, lifting the chest for a cobra. And then we're going to press through the knees, pull the belly button up, tuck the toes under, lift the tailbone, and sink the chest in a downward facing dog. Alternating heel stretches. We want to feel that chest sinking toward the toes. We want to feel those arms strong, shoulders activated, back working. If it feels good, just pedal those feet for a few more breaths. And it's okay to have bent knees in a downward dog. It's better to have bent knees and a straight spine than to have a round
rounded spine and straight legs like this. So just notice the difference there. That's going to stretch your hamstrings with nice bent knees, chest sinking. All right, let's start to walk it in. Hands and feet coming toward each other. Knees can stay bent or legs long. We're going to relax here, sinking the chest. Relax your neck. Add a little movement if it feels good, a little sway. Draw your belly button in towards your spine to get ready to come up. So take a big deep breath in. On your exhale, dig deep into the feet, roll all the way up. And get a big breath in as you reach for the ceiling. Once again, let's bring those hands back behind your back, just like this. Open the shoulders back behind you and reach the hands down. And then relax your arms. I'm going to pull my mat back just a little bit. So we're going to do a tree pose now, because we all need to work on our balance no matter what sport we're in, especially when you're reaching for those dinks or whatever my husband calls them. All right, let's come into a tree pose here. So we're going to open out one leg. On the leg that you're standing on, we want a little bend in that knee. You're going to focus your gaze on one spot. And now if you feel stable, maybe pick that foot up. You might even open up your arms, reaching them up or out. And take a few long breaths here. And when you're ready, relax. Shake out the leg. And let's take that to the other side. So not worrying about how far out we're pressing the knee. Just let it open as is comfortable. Focus on one spot, a little bend in the knee, maybe picking up the foot. And breathe. All right, nice. Let's relax that. We're going to turn our ankles, shake things out a little bit. And then nice deep breath in, reaching up toward the ceiling, lifting as high as you can. And then we're going to flat back, arms out, coming all the way back down in that wide fold. Give yourself 4 or 5 long breaths here again, just relaxing in this forward fold. Still working on opening up the hamstrings, which will help to release low back. And now, when you're down here and you can't quite reach the floor, maybe having something to rest your hands on might be helpful. And we're going to open our feet out just a little bit, maybe even turn the toes out. And we're going to sink the tailbone down, coming into a squat. So you might be here, but chances are you might be a little lifted on the heels or way lifted on the heels, having a hard time coming down. If that's the case, a blanket underneath your heels is going to be really helpful here. sinking the tailbone. This is really good strengthening for the shins. If you have shin splints ever, this is really good for strengthening the area around the shins. It's really good for stretching the feet and the calves. I'm just taking a couple more breaths here. So this is what this looks like from the side. This is what the squat would look like from the side. Again, with a blanket under the heels, if you're up like this, a blanket under the heels so you can press and maybe drop the tailbone would be really helpful. So from this squat, we're gonna sit all the way down. So use whatever you can, have a seat, and we're gonna take the legs out wide. And let's just start to inch the hands down in front, sinking the chest. Now, if you're sitting here and you feel like your tailbone is tucked and you're having a hard time, again, sit up on something so that your hips are a little higher and you feel that sinking through the chest, and you're getting a nice stretch in the back side of the legs and on the inner thighs. Let's take 5 deep breaths. And we're going to sit up again. We're going to take one arm up and over and give yourself a few long breaths here. And let's take that to the other side. And let's bring it back up. We're going to use our hands to push our legs back in. And if it feels good, take a little fold right here. And then we're going to go ahead and return to how we were sitting, coming onto our back. And let your legs stretch long. Take a full body reach. Turning the ankles and the wrists. And let's pull one knee in toward the chest. Just hold it in here for a few long breaths. And then we'll switch legs. And then we'll bring the feet back in. So we're going to ground both feet here. And we want to stretch the outer hip. So we're going to take our left ankle above our right knee. And then we want to hopefully feel this stretch in the outer left hip. It may look a little bit more like a leg crossing, like sitting cross-legged. If you don't feel enough of a stretch here, then you'll be picking up the right foot, bringing your right hand around your right thigh and your left hand around the inner thigh of your right leg, and then draw them in until you feel that outer hip stretch on the left side. And if this is enough with the foot down, you feel that stretch there, you can relax. Maybe stay right there. It's better to be able to breathe deep and relax in a stretch than to come too far in a stretch. The body needs to realize that it's okay to pull the muscle a certain amount, and if we're holding our breath, then our body is going to be tense and we're not going to get as much of a stretch as we otherwise would. Let's go ahead and release this side. And now you're going to take your right ankle above your left knee. If you're feeling it in the outer right hip, just stay right there, or maybe relax your arms overhead. If you're not feeling it enough, pick up your left foot and draw your legs in. Bring your hands behind that left thigh. Something else to note, that if you feel a little strain in your knee, so if I have my right ankle above my left knee and my right knee starts to bother me here, I'm going to flex my right foot, and that's going to activate those muscles that support the right knee. So if you keep that flexed, it should help prevent the knee pain if you have it. And just another couple long breaths here. And let's gently release this stretch. And let your knees sway a little bit. And now we're going to roll onto our side. We're almost done. This is a really important stretch here. So with this stretch, we want to be in a fetal position. We want to have our knees directly forward from our hips, and we want to have our ankles straight down from the knees. We're going to reach our arms long and rest the head. If your head doesn't come down to the floor comfortably, bring yourself a little pillow or a blanket underneath your head here. And we're going to take our top arm and come all the way up and over and out. So we're reaching out to a T with the arms. And if you like, turn your head so it's looking toward that right arm that you opened out, or your top arm, whichever arm that is. Breathe deep into your rib cage and your chest. This is really going to help open up the shoulders that get really tight when you're using a racket, a paddle. So this is also, of course, really good for tennis. Although I know in pickleball you're using paddles. Give yourself another deep breath here. We're going to bring it all the way back. So again, we're laying on our side, and then we're going to come back onto our back. And just give the spine a moment to reset. And let the knees sway a little bit again, maybe even hugging the knees all the way in. And then we're going to set up toward the other side. So we're going to scoot our hips out, come onto our side. Line up the knees. I'm just going to turn toward this side so that you can still see. I'm going to line up the knees with the ankles. Get my microphone out of the way. We're going to line up the knees and the ankles, arms lengthening, resting the head. And again, that top arm opens back. And this is called the pinwheel stretch. Let those deep breaths come into your chest and your rib cage. And you can even gently turn your head if that feels good. You might find that your shoulder is lifted way high when you open that top arm out, and it might be comfortable to slide a pillow or a pile of blankets underneath that shoulder so that you can really get some rest and opening in that position. Let's just take a couple more deep breaths here. And we're going to bring it back. And give yourself a moment to lay on your side here. And feel free to stay there because we are finished. So I hope that helps open up your body a little bit and strengthen your core. And if you'd like more, you can subscribe to my channel. I have many different yoga and Pilates workouts, all that would benefit pickleball players. So I hope you enjoyed this.